Hi there, Artem Pogostin here from Elastic. Welcome to another 5-minute Elastic Stack video. Data residency is one of the use cases that a lot of our customers are trying to solve. It is quite common when organizations of various sizes have multiple data centers in various regions. Reasons for that could be regulatory compliance or simply keeping data close to the source to deal with issues like networking cost, hardware cost, and latency. It just makes sense because most of the queries to the data come from the region where it was originated. In one of the previous episodes, my colleague named Drost talked about an awesome feature in Elastic Stack called cross-cluster search. You will find the link to the video and to the documentation of the feature in the description. In short, cross-cluster search allows you to connect to remote clusters and search through their data from your local cluster. In this video, I will show you how this feature can help you address data residency requirements and get a holistic view of your data. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I've built two clusters, one representing a US data center, another one representing Canadian data center. And in both of those clusters, I have sales data local to those regions. So I have sample superstore data for United States in my US cluster. And I have sample superstore data coming from Canada in my Canadian cluster. And I can build dashboards on top of that data in both clusters. So here I have a dashboard representing my United States sales over a certain period of time. I can see things like average profit per order. I can see a breakdown by categories by state. I can see my top spenders from the United States. I have my region map over here. And over here, I have that same visualization, but specific to Canada, sitting on top of Canadian data with the map of Canada and breakdown by provinces. And so on and so forth. Very similar visualizations, pretty much the same visualizations. But what if from my US headquarters, I want to see a holistic view of all of my sales across both regions? And how would I do that? And this is exactly where cross-cluster search would come in handy. So first, from my US headquarters, I'm going to connect to my Canadian data center, to my Canadian cluster. And I will do it by executing this command. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I got a success back. I'm just going to check the cluster settings just to make sure I'm connected. And indeed, yes, I'm connected to my Canadian cluster. And now, if I want to search across my local data, across my local indices, I would do it like this by executing this command. And if I want to search across remote indices, I have to put a remote cluster in first in front of the index name. And that's how I would do that. And this is how I'm going to get my data from the remote cluster coming back to me. But how do I build a visualization on top of both of these indices, one being remote and one being local? So I would do that by specifying an index pattern. And first, I will start with the remote index. So I would give it, I would specify cluster name first. It finds a whole bunch of indices, but I'm only interested in superstore data. So I will specify superstore index pattern here first for the remote index. And now with a comma, I need to specify a local index. And now this index pattern spans both remote and a local indices. With my next step, I'm just going to give it a date field. And here would be an order date. That's a field that's common for both indices. And I'll create an index pattern. And using that index pattern, I can create a visualization or can create a dashboard that would look like this, where I have sales coming from both regions on one dashboard. And some of the data here is remote, and some of the data here is local to my cluster. And I have a map of both Canada and, Canada here and the United States here. And I have a breakdown by category, not just by states, but by provinces as well. And I have my top spenders across both countries. And I have unique customers broken down by region and by city over here. And if I want to drill down on a particular country here, I can still do that. I can specify a filter here and say country is United States. And now this whole dashboard rearranges itself, and there's no more Canadian data here, just all US data here. I can get even more specific if I wanted to. I could drill down on a specific region. Just on a map, I'm going to click on Ontario. Now all the data is here is specific to Ontario. Or I can just remove this filter and get even more specific. I can break this down by city, or drill down on a particular city. So I can take a look at all the sales coming from San Francisco, for example. And now everything is specific to just California, obviously. Nothing coming from Canada, nothing coming from other states, just from California, just for San Francisco. These are all my top spenders in San Francisco. And that's how I can still drill down on all of the data using features of Kibana dashboards. So here in 5 minutes, I have showed you how cross-cluster search feature can help you address data residency use case with Elastic Stack. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.